For those of us working on the Internet of Things, it is very important to understand that the Internet of Things is not just one more case in the general model, the general paradigm of the Internet. The Internet of Things exceeds the boundaries of the current Internet use cases. For that, we propose a simple syntax that can, in a very simple way, prove that. We propose a simple syntax for all the use cases of the Internet as we know it, that is composed of two entities. People able to access the Internet through devices like smartphones, laptops, or desktops, and information systems operating autonomously. These two entities allow for 4 different connections. People to information systems to people, people with other people, and information systems with other information systems. 2 entities, 4 possible connections. This extremely simple syntax, in fact, can model even the most complex use cases of the Internet. Most social media interactions are people connecting with other people, often mediated by information systems. There are lots of use cases in which banking information systems interact with other banking information systems. The simple, very common case of buying an airline ticket online requires a person to connect to the information system of a certain travel agent or to a search engine. Then this information system is going to connect to different information systems, like for instance a reservation system. Eventually, there will be a connection to a banking system for payment processing, and it will go back to a person. If this person shares the information about the tickets bought, it will interact with other people. One can do the exercise and think of different use cases, and you will see how they all fit in this simple syntax. But in order to explain even the simplest use cases in the Internet of Things, we don't have enough with this simple syntax, because we need a third entity. The third entity are the objects, or as we will call them, smart objects. A detailed description of what a smart object is will be the subject of a different video. But the first thing we see is that when we have 3 different entities, we go from 2 to 3 entities, but from 4 to 9 connections. We have the 2 ways of connecting information systems and people and objects to information systems. And then the self-connections of people, objects, and information systems for a total of 9 possibilities, more than double compared to the Internet syntax. It is this new syntax that shows us that the Internet of Things requires a different model than the Internet, because it requires a new entity. That's what gives the Internet of Things the power and its almost infinite scalability in terms of reach and depth of use cases. However, what most people currently understand as the Internet of Things, like for instance smart cities, is a very simplified version of this syntax. In this very simple subset of use cases of the Internet of Things, objects will upload information to information systems. For instance, sensors will send temperature, traffic, light, all kinds of data to the information system. A lot of smart cities use cases are modeled by this simple subset of the more general syntax. But the more general syntax will allow for more complex and interesting use cases. Creating a taxonomy of the different levels of complexity of these use cases will also be the subject of another video. To finish, sometimes we need to realize that these entities are integrated into a single object. For instance, a smart car cannot be thought of as a simple object, or only as an information system. It is quite clear that a self-driving car is a combination of an object and an information system. Further, if that car has a person inside, we could think of this smart car as a combination of 3 different entities, acting as a single one. Well, that is food for thought.